Hello and welcome back to KDP A to Z. Today I want to be showing you how to make some colouring books which are completely free to make and very easy to do. Now, a colouring book niche is one of the most profitable niches on the KDP platform. If you can't draw, it's not a problem at all, nor can I, and I didn't have any issues doing this. I'm going to show you how to make some professional and unique designs. I hope you enjoy this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Let's go. Now, when you're creating a colouring book, the first thing that you need to do is plan out how you would like it to be. Don't go into it blind because you'll waste lots of time. So the very first thing that you need to do is to choose your niche. Now, if you haven't seen it, I have made some videos about how to choose your niche in various different areas that you might find helpful. And these are the ones that I would recommend. Now, in trying to establish what a good colouring book looks like, I had a little look at a couple of ones that are doing really well and were both independently published. So there's this one here, which is going for £7.40. It's quite a few pages. It's more of one for an adults. And I had a little look at another one. This is a simple and big colouring book. A little bit cheaper, 102 pages this one, but also doing rather well. If we have a little look on the look inside feature, it's quite nice. It's got an inside page there. It's got some copyright information, which is nice. But the bit I like is if you wanted to go and have more information and stay updated. So they've put some little bit of advertising in there, which I really like. It might be worth putting something like, if you would like to give me some feedback and so on, because feedback is where you get your sales and so on. So the more ratings you have, the better. So it might be worth putting something just on this front page. If you're worried about copyright, I have also made a video about that. Now, looking on the look inside feature for this one was quite interesting. This has given some tips for colouring, which is really nice information. They are leaving their page blank on that side, and that's to prevent bleed. Whilst the quality of Amazon books that are printed are very good, they aren't art paper good, if you see what I mean. So there is sometimes the issue with bleed. So it is a good idea to just probably leave a blank page here. So before you create your book, you obviously need to decide on the size. And from what I gather, most books of the colouring book niche is 8.5 by 11 inches. So that would be a good size to design with. Make sure you have a think about bleed. Bleed here is much more important than you would think. So what I mean by this is pages with bleed will extend the picture to the edge of the page there. Okay, now they need to be sized slightly differently. So if you're wanting your pictures to go right to the edge of the page on your colouring book, you need to use a page size of 8.625 by 11.25 inches. And that will make you the book of the 8.5 by 11 inches, because that will be trimmed off around those areas. Okay, so please make sure you do set up your page like that, because otherwise it's just going to come back. Now, if you want it without bleed, and that is where you have no pictures around the edges of the page, no images there, you would select without bleed when you're setting up your book, and you would design your pages to be 8.5 by 11. Your colouring book will need to be at least 25 pages of colouring. Anything less just won't be enough. So make sure you've got at least 25 pages in there. Decide whether you want it single-sided or not. So like I said, sometimes the colour can bleed through to the other side of the paper, and to try to prevent that, it might be a good idea just to have a blank side. And I would price your books, depending on the length, from around £5.99 to £9.99. Anything more, it's just too expensive. Anything less, people will think the quality is not that good. And don't undersell yourself. Remember, you have worked hard on this and you want to make some money. Now, the quickest way to create a colouring page is if you have a subscription to Creative Fabrica, you just go along to there and type in colouring page. And this is a website where it will give you loads of free resources for KDP, as long as you have a subscription. If you don't have a subscription, it is just £1, I believe, for, I think it's 7 days, and you can download as much as you want in that time. Now, when you find something you like, I would recommend you stick with the same designer each time. So if you go on to the designs that you like, you can also look at their profile, and then you can pick similar designs. It's a good idea to stick with the same sort of designs for one book at a time. And once you've chosen your images that you'd like to download, you go along to Canva. Remember, we're going to have an 8.5 by 11 inch book. We're going to create a new design. So you go along to Canva, click on Create a Design, Custom Size, so that we've got the right page. Now all you need to do is go on to Uploads and upload any files that you want to, just here. Okay, so I'm going with this picture here. My book. Now, one of the problems you have with Creative Fabrica is that other people can do the same. So you need to make your design a little bit unique. And the way a lot of people do that is by putting inspirational quotes on the colouring pages. Now you can write obviously whatever you'd like to. So if you just go along to the text box, I would recommend going for something like a bubble font. So any of them will do. Let's go for just the first one. Okay. Get it to be the size that you would like it to be, and wherever you would want it to be. I wouldn't put it in the center. It's nice to put it sort of just above the center there. Now it would be really nice if we made this design pop out a little bit so that they can actually color it in. Now the way to do this is you go and right click on your mouse, you press copy, and then you right click again and paste. So now you've got two of the blacks here. Okay, you line them up so that one is on top of the other one, and this top black one is the one that's selected. We need to change the color of this one. Go up here and change that to white. Okay, now right click again on your mouse and send that backwards. Okay, so the white one's underneath the black one at the moment. Now we've got the black one selected, we go on to effects and we turn that hollow. And there you are, it has gone so that you can now colour that in. Now you can obviously, this one that you've made hollow, you can make the thickness much bigger. Here. So there we are. That's a nice design, nice and quick and simple and easy to do. To make more pages like that, you simply go on to add page. Now remember, if you wanted to have it so that you've got one side to colour in and the other side blank, so that you're preventing the bleed, you would leave page 2 blank. Okay, then you start your next design on page 3. Now obviously Creative Fabrica isn't a completely free site, and I did promise you a free colouring book, completely free. So this is the way that I would like you to do it. So if you go on to this video here that I've previously made, I've shown you loads of places where you can get free resources. And I would like you to go onto one of those websites and find some images that you'd like to use. Okay. So I have uploaded one here. Okay, it's a nice picture. Now I'm going to show you how to turn this into an actual colouring page. Now when you're selecting your images, do make sure that you have the correct licenses and so on. So this is one that I got from Vecteezy website. So thank you very much. You have to attribute on certain of these sites. Okay. So to make this into a colouring page, you want to go onto Edit Image. And you would need to go into the photogenic area, see all, and we're going to turn this into classic. Okay, you could try any of these to be honest, but I find that the classic is the lightest one. And then you apply that. Next, I want you to come up to the contrast and brightness area, and we're just going to amend the contrast and we're going to brighten it. Okay, so now you can see that we have removed all the colour from that image and it's ready to colour in. Now, one of the nice things about doing it this way is that you can then use this image as part of your A+ marketing, or even as your front cover, because it's already beautifully coloured in, and that makes life nice and easy for you. Now, it might be the case that you find lots of different images that you want to amalgamate into one page, rather than just using one design, removing the colour and using that as a page. So you would want to repeat the steps from last time to create your images that you want to amalgamate. Now you'll notice that these all have a white background from where we removed the colour last time, which is kind of annoying because they don't overlap very well. Now I have a little hack for this to overcome this. So if you go along to this website, Photopea, and we're going to create a new project, we're just going to put that picture that we wanted to remove the background from. So it was this one. And we're going to upload it onto Photopea. Now then, you need to go on to Select, and we're going to press Magic Cut. Now you'll notice here it's not quite what we want. And the reason for that is you've got, on this side of the image, on the left-hand side, you've got red areas and green areas. Now the green areas, roughly, are going to be what's transported along without the background. And the red area is going to be removed. So to clear some of this red area, you go onto the erase bit, which is the grey box here. And we're just going to remove that red area there. And wait. And you can see that's removed that, and that looks much better. We'll do the same again up here. Okay. And the same on the right-hand side of this picture. Okay, that's looking much better. We'll just check it for images. Now, we have got still here this little bit of white there, which we don't want. That will cause problems in our picture. So if we select the red, and we're just going to colour in red roughly on there, and that removes that bit of white there. Now, if you're happy with that image, make sure that you've got new layer selected and press OK. And then what we're going to do is we're going to export that as a PNG file. And we're going to go back along to Canva, and we'll upload that file. And you can see now we have the two images. One doesn't have this white background and one does. So we'll remove that one with the white background, and that way our designs will look much nicer. And if you keep repeating the same process, you can, of course, create anything that unique that you like. To rearrange how you want these pictures as well, don't forget you can move these images backward and forward. So you could send this back so that it tucks behind one of your other images. So just repeat it, get it how you like your page. Add a quote if you want to, using the text option, and have fun with it. Now, there is, of course, one final way that you could do this, designing your own colouring pages, and that is just to go on Canva just as it is, select elements, and search for line drawings. Now, most of these you will notice are pro versions, but of course there's lots of free ones as well. So if you don't want to pay, and you could just simply import some line drawings that way. But of course, remember, a lot of people will do that, and I'd like you to create unique designs and something a bit different. So I would recommend the steps that I have shown you previously. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Finally, I just wanted to talk to you about making sure that it sells. Now, so make sure you do include the A+ content. If you've not seen how to do this, or you don't know what it is, I have made a video about how to do this. Add more categories as well. You don't have to just have 2 categories. You can have up to 10. It's always worth asking your purchasers for feedback in the book. So do that in your copyright page. I would use the line something along the lines of, "We love feedback. Help us to make more great books by letting Amazon know if we did well." It's nice and gentle, and it would encourage people to give you feedback, or hopefully the 5 stars. And of course, the more of them you've got, the higher your rankings. Make a fantastic cover for your book. Again, I have shown you how to do this in a previous video. Do have a look at it. And use the correct keywords. In my last video, for example, I explained the difference between the American and the English version of spelling and which one was better. It might be a good idea just to take a look at that. And finally, getting your friends to add it to their Amazon wish list is a really good way of increasing your rankings. It's completely free. They don't have to purchase it. They just add it to their wish list in their Amazon account, and you will see that your rankings will go up. So that's another good way of getting your book seen. Thanks ever so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.